So, thank you, Brian. Brian and I met at Unity Palo Alto 14 years ago, over 14 years ago. And I have been witness to his journey. And today's topic from our series on abundance lessons from life is release. How appropriate that, Brian, you were called upon to give the talk today, because you released a lot of things that weren't serving you, but were very familiar, in order to really live an abundant life. And as you were talking, I remember last week when you were here, and I got to meet your son and your daughter-in-law, your kid and your grandkid, and like, wow, and I knew you were going on to another family gathering, and the abundance that comes from putting one foot in front of the other and releasing the past pain is one of the things we're going to talk about today. Components to release. And we all know we really do need to let go of some things. But there's also something we have to step into. There's a call to a higher self, a call to your true self that sometimes has gotten clouded, has gotten covered up, or that we have ignored for decades. And that higher call calls upon us, that higher calling requires us, really, to let go of who we think we are, to step into what we're really here and who we're really here to be. So I'm going to invite Misa to come to platform to sing a song that talks about this, about answering that siren call and releasing what we think we're supposed to be doing.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Oh. You're not a voice. You're just a ringing in my ears, and if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, I don't need something new. I am afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me, who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Oh, are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me?
Brown and Cleo Briggs. Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning, she's hitting that note. She started our rehearsal at 8 o'clock, singing that high. I think Cleo rolls out of bed singing that high. She does. Wow. And that call, we're all here to live, and to show up greater than we are right now. Period. Myself, all of us included. There is something greater that we're supposed to be doing. And we get stuck, trapped, comfortable, scared in the familiar. Even when the familiar, especially when the familiar, can become someone else's fault. Right? That it's their fault that I can't show up like I'm supposed to because they're doing that. Right? And we develop these great resentments and righteous indignation against how other people are behaving. And our job is to release that and understand that no one, nothing can withhold our good from us. That's our teaching, right? Right? We all know that's our teaching, right? That God, the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is constantly pouring upon us all of life's abundance and good. Then how come it's that person's fault, my ex's fault, my boss's fault, my whatever's fault, that I can't express my highest good? It's my finances. If only I had enough money to do it. Oh, really? Is that really the issue? Or is it, I'm too old? I don't have the right education. I'm the right, the wrong, the whatever, fill in the blank, and we get stuck. When Scripture, every religious teaching I have studied always shows us it is God's great pleasure to give you the kingdom. Okay? You are heirs to all of life's good. We stand up here on Sundays and we talk about claiming our dominion, claiming our good, and say, well, the cities impose mask mandates, and COVID, and the unvaccinated. Right? And all the reasons we can't have a good time right here and right now. And I know you all have been having a good time because I've seen you dancing in the aisles here right now. And at home, I know you're having a good time because you're here. But that siren call doesn't go away. How can I show up bigger than I am right now? How can I show up more loving, more generous, more compassionate, more powerful? Oh, that's one. That's interesting when I say that, when I think that. Who are you to show up powerful? Isn't that grandiose? Well, I am a divine expression. Of course I'm going to show up powerful. That doesn't mean I show up as a steamroller, doesn't mean you show up as a steamroller, but you stand in your power, you stand in your authority, and you claim your good that way by sharing it with the world. Each and every one of us at home, in this room, can claim our good now. But to do that, we have to release the story, the righteous indignation of what happened, and practice radical forgiveness, right? Can you forgive your mom? Right? It's easy to forgive my mom right now. She doesn't remember anything she did first. And second, she's gotten very sweet in her Alzheimer's and her dementia. And there's nothing I want to do more than just wrap my arms around her. But can we forgive the people who hurt us the most? Can we forgive ourselves for holding on to the resentment for far longer than they hurt us? Can we forgive ourselves for saying yes to pain over and over and over again. And we kept putting ourselves in the situation, kept accepting pain as somehow that was our birthright. Somehow that was our highest calling. And our belief in poverty and lack as a way of fully and completely owning who we are. You are a magnificent expression of the divine, and your birthright is a rich, glorious, magnificent, abundant life, no less. And right now, today, what I'd like us all to do is to stand in that truth, to stand in that knowing that there is no tomorrow in which this is all going to come true. There is no perfect storm where it's all going to line up, and when that person does that, and when I get that job, and that person loves me the way they need to love me, it's all going to come together. But we stand in this moment and go, okay, right now, I am living an abundant, glorious, peaceful, joyful life, right? Except for the thought that just went through your head about what you don't have. Right? Right? Because I know it just happened to you. Right? That shooting pain pulled you back out of the bliss into the, oh, but if only. And that's what we need to release, folks. The idea that that somehow won't happen, and B, that it has power or truth attached to it. If we can let go of the idea that I will be happy when that person loves me the way they need to, or I will be happy when I have that $1 million in the bank, or I'll be happy when they start behaving like the child of God. I know they are. I'm just going to wait, sit here, counting the minutes till they behave in a loving way. All the time, I'm just sitting here judgmental. Then we get to experience bliss. We get to experience peace. We get to experience that we are the judgmental ones, that we are the ones withholding and blocking our good for us. Because back to the beginning, the divine God, Spirit, Jesus, Yahweh, Buddha, Lord, is always showering good upon us and wants nothing more than your highest and your best. Right? Right? Can I get it right? Do we believe that at all? Do we believe it even a smidge? Do we believe it, or do we just give lip service to it? Do we give lip service to our unity teachings, or do we embody them and walk into them and live according to them? Well, you know, and I know, when you're in a long-term relationship, whether it be with a spouse, a partner, or a family member, or a lifelong friend, those people are going to give you those opportunities to know that. And to know it abundantly, as my husband's affirming right now. Because the miscommunications when we're happening in life are usually that, miscommunications. I have a story for you. So a friend was really upset with her boss and was sure the boss was trying to push her out of her job. Just positive that was going to happen. And then she came to me a couple weeks ago and said, I was dumbfounded. They just gave me my new contract, and it's for 3 years, and everything I asked for. And I was like, oh, so you were wrong, right? They weren't trying to push you out, but our belief system is that we interpret things usually not for our highest and best. We interpret the actions of others about ourselves and about our greatest fears, right? I fear I'm going to get fired. I fear I'm not doing the job well. I fear that this is going on. And so we hear it, and we see it, and we make it this thoughts become things, or thoughts and feelings held in mind. And as I like to teach it, our feelings are much more powerful creators than just our thoughts. But when we feel something, it gets a real hook into us, and we put it out in the world constantly, and we see it everywhere. So what if we could release that? What if we took the time to do the work, and step by step, look at everything we believe and really, really judged it fairly? Is it true or not? Does it serve my highest and my best? JD has a line on his email that goes out every time he sends an email that says, "I'm paranoid in reverse. I believe that people are conspiring for me." Right? And as I started this series with, I had to own that too. In our journey through life right now, when JD's job was released, my fear level went through the roof, and I had to walk through it using our principles. And in that process, I found myself contracting and believing that there wasn't enough, that we couldn't go through the list, right? You might resonate with some of that with things going on in your own life right now. And then it all broke through when we found out we could get a new house, and that the bank would approve us, and that we make more than enough money, and that all the things happened that allowed us to move on a dime and move into a house twice as big as the one we had before. And I had to step back and go, preacher, what are you preaching? Who are you preaching to? Are you listening to your own teaching? There is an opportunity we have right now to really and fully release the negative thinking. And negative thinking usually is turned against others, but is about us, about our greatest fears, right? Negative thinking is usually a projection of our deep, deep fear that we're not good enough or whatever. You fill in the blank. So what I'd like us to concentrate on today is releasing that, so that we can answer the siren's call, so that we can answer the call and become the person we're really here to be. That person that you all know is in there. If you didn't have to worry about anything else, what and who would you be today? That first thought that crossed your mind, that's who you're. The universe, that's that siren call, that Cleo voice. Hit that note for me again, Cleo. So that they can have it in their heads all the time, right? Singing. Come on up and be there with us. So I'm going to invite the music team to come up. And there's a process and a meditation that we've done before, and I want us to do again, and it's a song called I Forgive Me. Right? I forgive me for everything I've been holding on to. Because those things we hold so tightly keep us chained to the pain of the past. What I want us to be is free to be that love, to be that shiny city on the hill, to be abundant, and to share it.